So the other part to her question was she wanted to know how to make him feel more secure in the relationship when she's making more money than him. What things can she do to make him feel like he still has a place in the whole household and everything like that?
Let him lead.
Yeah.
Let him lead. I mean, if you have a good man, just let him lead. Just sit back and just let him lead. Let him make the choices and let him decide. And as long as he's leading you in the right way. I feel like men want to lead and they want to have that.
But do you think that's going to be easy for the woman? Because she's going to feel like, I bought this money here. So maybe
you going to lead my money? How you going to tell me what to do with my money? Now I'm going out.
But if the roles were reversed and he was making more, how would you feel if he treated you that way? If he said those things to you? So you got to kind of look at it like that. What if he was making more money? Would you say, and he said, this is my money. I went out and worked for this money. How you going to tell me how would you feel? So if you're in a relationship or definitely a marriage, it should be a joint thing. So maybe get an account where you both set aside the same amount of money to put into the account to go towards the bills. And whatever's extra, save it or, do what you want to do. Yeah. That way it seems more, I guess it would seem more fair. I think that's something you need to sit down and talk about together.
Communication is key. So
or whatever is comfortable, because what works for one household may not work for the next. So what if there's a house that you want because you want a bigger house, but it's going to take more of your income to get into that house? Would you downsize a little bit, or would you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That may be something to consider.
So girls, how would you feel if you made more than him? Would you get in a relationship with a guy that made less than you? Is that a deal breaker for you? Do he have to make more than you? For me, I really feel like he should make more than you, but I don't know. What do you think?
I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker.
No.
I would want him to, because if my budget is up here and I go buy, I just would want it to be even. Because if I'm making $100,000, or if I'm making whatever amount I'm making, and I go out and I decide to buy something that's more than what's in his budget, he's like, why are you buying, hold on, he might catch me off guard. I might be like, hold on, this is my money, but slow down, bro, slow down. I would prefer it, because our budgets are different. So my side money maybe a little bit more than his side money, and so we might afford different things, and I may not necessarily feel, as long as you're communicating though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just go out and do something without communicating.
You can communicate like crazy, but I would want him to make more money than me.
Yeah, I would prefer it.
Yeah. I would. Would I not go for my goals and achieve as much as I want to, or achieve because he makes less? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think it's more to factor, is he lazy? Is that the reason why he's not making any money or as much as you? I think those are the things you need to look at. Just because someone is making a certain amount today, if they have goals and they have ambition, they may be able to, they may have potential to reach that. And then if a person is working as hard as they can work, and they're doing
a good person,
then I don't think it would be a deal breaker. But personally, me, I would want him to make more than me. I think it'll just solve a lot of
the issues.
I wouldn't want the financial burden of the household. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to have
the stress of that.
Yeah, I don't want the stress of that. I want, as long as you're able to take care of the house, I feel like that kind of makes it a little better. So that it's not like I'm doing this and,
And then I don't want somebody that, I want to make my own money. I need to have my own.
Yeah.
Regardless of.
Got to.
Yeah, I got to have my own. And but I definitely want somebody that if I can buy it for myself, I want you to be able to buy it for me.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's just.
Yeah. Definitely.
That would just make me feel better.
Yeah. I think every female really wants that. But
But hey, you can work together if you got, you know, you can work
You
together
gotta
and build
start.
together.
Yeah, you gotta look
Everybody
at where
gotta
you're
start
at in
somewhere.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. But would you get involved? I guess she was asking, would you get involved with someone that
if you knew that from like the jump start that he doesn't make, like he's already in a steady job and you already know this is what he's gonna be making.
No, I'm not gonna down him for his dream. If he's doing something he wants to do.
Yeah, if he sometimes you can make people out here making 100,000, 200,000, but they're miserable. They're not happy. They don't have time for their family, so they're miserable. So is it worth it? You know, sometimes you need money, but it's not everything. Come on now. What if they're never home because they got to go out here and chase this dollar? Is that really worth it?
Yeah.
Or you can have somebody. Some people enjoy. Give me a job that doesn't make a lot. Like I don't know, anything that does not make
custodial work.
Like say he's a custodian and he enjoys doing that, and that's what makes him happy. Then he's going to be a happy person, and that's going to be a better partner for you.
Yeah,
that's what I think. And then hey, encourage him to. You like this custodial work? Why don't you start your own business?
Cleaning business. Like, what that mean?
Yes.
That's what I say.
Definitely. I really feel like that really answered that question right there. So.
But. One more but.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, if you older though, if y'all older and he like 40, 35 and up, and he ain't there yet, you better leave that where it's at. But if y'all like young in y'all 20s, then that's something different. But if you 35, you hitting 35 and you ain't in your career, or you ain't got no direction, if he ain't got no direction and he ain't trying to get there, I wouldn't miss it.
Well, I know for me, you know, growing up in my beliefs, you know, Dad was, you know, the breadwinner. He went to work and he did what he had to do for his family. I mean, worked. And still on the weekends, you know, he was there and he did stuff with us.
Yeah.
And Mom stayed at home and did everything, you know. So for me, and the first male example that I have in life, my dad, that's in me and that's instilled in me. So it would make me feel better to have a man that can take care of his family, because that's what I've seen and that's what I know. So and that's my beliefs.
Definitely. I really like that you brought up that point. Yeah. Like the way you come up and like really plays a big factor in what.
Yeah, you have to look at your family and your background and all that plays a factor.
It really does. Definitely.
So you would view him as less of a man if he didn't?
I wouldn't say I would view him as less of a man, but what I've seen in my beliefs, it would take a little bit for me to not accept it, because I would accept him, but it would take a little bit for me to change my thinking.
Yeah.
You know, when you get upset, because in relationship you get upset and you say things, I wouldn't want to say anything, you know, oh, this mama, you know, stuff like that. Or I'm doing this. It will come up. Because even men do it. Even with men, they're like, wait, you know, you can't, this my money. You know, they kind of give females a little bit of money. I've seen that. I have.
And I can't do it.
Yeah, even men do it.
Have me on a budget.
Yeah. So
that's why it's good to have your
everybody
own
needs
money.
a budget.
Child, you is not about to give me.
No,
you can't.
Because if you're not going out making the money, you're gonna spend freely, honey. You need to be put on a budget.
And if you have a good man, he's gonna lead you. He know y'all have goals and what y'all trying to reach.
Okay, do you think your mama had a budget?
No.
No shit, didn't have a budget, and we spent freely.
Yeah. And that's what I'm used to. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, I don't need no budget. Especially if I'm gonna be a stay-at-home.
Yeah, but that's not realistic. Come on, that's not realistic in this day. Come on now, we living in it's not realistic unless you.
But even if you're making your own money, you're in a relationship, so you have to be single in order to get.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You have to be what?
You're still in a relationship. You can't just make all your money and go out here and buy all these stuff separate. You got all these cars, and he like.
But budget is good. Don't you think Faith needed a budget?
Yes.
Mommy definitely needed a budget. She did.
She did need a budget.
Definitely.
Yeah, she did, Lord. But I'm glad she didn't while we was in high school. You know what I mean? We was at the mall every week.
Yes.
Tearing dealers up.
Yes.
Yes. Mm.
You just have to be careful though, because you don't. Money can come and go, and you don't want that to be.
And we going somewhere else, but it is true though. If you don't make the money, you're not out here working for it. It's easy to spend somebody else's money.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Definitely leave your comments down below on this topic. I would love, 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 love to hear them.
We need some men too. We need some men's opinions.
Definitely. Men's opinions.
We're women. We only know what we know about us. We don't know how you guys think.
Definitely. I want to hear them. I really do. And also, if you have any topics, make sure you leave them down below. If you want it to be more personal, definitely shoot me an email right here. Here's my email address. And I want to say thank you once again for watching and tuning in for this week's Talk About It Tuesday. And I will see you guys next week for another Talk About It Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.